see there, and this is probably your bigger expansion opportunity. Think about the rest of the year from a student activity perspective.
Yes.
Where there's always different events going on throughout the year. You have family weekends, you have sorority fraternity events, you have athletics events. I think that's really the big opportunity you have for expansion beyond that, that seasonalized market, looking throughout the year and making those relationships with universities and student activities in particular. And
can I just touch on that real quick before I lose my train of thought?
Sure.
So you're absolutely right, and you bring up an excellent point. My daughter is a sophomore at SUNY Cortland,
Yep.
and before she starts her semester, they send out all of this literature about different things that parents can do, to support their kids while they're in school. And I thought, well, it's an opportunity during finals week, midterms week, any holidays for students who can't make their way home, do a little care package.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can plan in advance and deliver as that time arises. So you bring up a very great point.
Yeah, like student activities departments, I know for special event planning, we're spending hundreds of thousands each year in different activities. And yeah, if I would I would recommend talking to, the student activities departments, talking to the people there. They'll usually have business managers. And the other thing to think about with universities as well, especially if you're going to be targeting that higher ed market, like University of Connecticut has a set-aside requirement for small businesses and so SBE, MBE, and that includes veteran-owned businesses.
Okay.
And I know Connecticut has its own special registration requirement. I'm sure New York has it somewhere. But like essentially 25% of our spend has to go to SBE, MBE, the diverse-owned businesses. So getting that registration and making the inroads with that university market, I think that would be very helpful in the way to get in there.
Thank you, Kylie. I'm just taking notes as we do this. So.
I wondered about certainly it makes sense that maybe do ways at a graduation in Hawaii. Would it also be something popular in Syracuse? Do they kind of relate to having ways and having something like that, or is that kind of uniquely Hawaiian?
It's not uniquely Hawaiian, and it's also popular among other Asian cultures because, for example, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 other graduates who maybe their families made it for them, and then they came over to me and bought some more because they wanted their graduate to have some more. So I don't think it's just unique to Hawaii. I think it's something celebratory, so it can be for graduations, it could be for retirement parties, it could be for birthdays, it could be for like VIP areas. I had one peer of mine suggest that maybe even a promotional product for a gym, but using maybe healthy little snack things, little snack treats for, energy stuff.
Sure, power bar.
So yeah, so it can be, so it's definitely for multiple purposes.
So, and how many units did you say? Was it 4,400? Is that what you said?
That's my target.
That's your target.
For 4,400.
And so are you going to have additional help, right? Just in that like short period of time, could it be just you doing the sales at one location, or do you need more help?
Well, at this time, I'm blessed. Thank you, Jesus. I have the labor of love, I call it, my family. Yeah. So I have a 19-year-old, a 15-year-old. I have custody of my cousin who's 15. I have nieces and nephews. I have cousins, and we all sit down together. I actually have pictures that I can show you where we have an assembly line in the house, and everybody has their section, and everybody helps out.
That's good.
Yes.
Just a comment, when you started off the presentation, you started talking about, I can help you plan a baby shower, I can help you. This almost seems like a different piece. So I'm wondering if you should almost narrow down to focus just on this part of, instead of being an event planner.
Okay.
I think maybe that will carry you away from doing what I think is a really good idea.
Mhm.
I've seen similar ideas at the college level. I've never seen them at the high school level, and I think that's absolutely excellent. And being on site with them. Now, how would you get them? How do you? So you have to get a vendor permit, but then you are right at graduation as people are going in and coming out, right?
Yes.
I think that's ideal and amazing because I don't know how many high school graduations I've gone running to and thought halfway there, yeah, I could have gotten a card.
A flower.
A flower or whatever. The other times I've felt that way, especially at the high school thing, is when they're having the plays or the concerts or any of that. Yeah, I just arrived there with nothing and thought I could have brought a little something for whoever's in the play. So,
You bring up two good points, and I hope I don't forget. So the first one, in Syracuse, because the schools have large graduations, and these are the venues that I talked about, the three venues hold a lot of people, they limit how many guests you can bring. So being out on the street, initially I thought wasn't so good, but it was great because one graduate might get 5 tickets. So those people can go in, but they might have 20 other people standing outside waiting for them to come outside.
right.
So it's always a huge crowd outside waiting for the graduates to come out because you can't accommodate all of your family members.
Right.
And then the other point is that in the beginning, I want to give an overview of the services that Sweet Things provide. And you're right, this falls under my unique gift category. And to follow back on what you said it's kind of seasonal. Well, that's right. So in the interim, if I do have a baby shower to book, or a quinceañera, or a sweet 16 retirement party, I can still do those things, in addition to focusing on those high school graduations.
Have you thought to talk to any of the manufacturers to see if they ever do something different with the packaging? Like it would be, if you could do a particular school's colors, like for the packaging of the candy, that might be something that would be really appealing.
Well, no, but that is an excellent point. What I will say, so you have like the patriotic look. I try to do everything red, white, and blue. Okay, so that's what you have. But for example, when I was outside the high school graduations, the picks that go inside, like these little picks here that can change for the themes, that match the school colors. And the ribbons here, so I'm a Bulldog, Nottingham High School, orange and blue. So that was also an attraction. Very good point.
Expansion opportunities as well. Have you considered, because companies like Cisco, they do a certain amount of activity with local businesses. Do you know anything about Cisco and U.S. business companies like that?
From working in nutrition services, I know they're like huge vendors for like hospitals and.
Because like for UConn, our dining services are primarily like Cisco.
Okay.
And if you develop relationships with a company like Cisco, that's a good way to hit a broader market.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially because, it's a big thing with vendors that are using Cisco. Some of them are looking for locally source requirements. So if you're putting together this and they're looking at different New York contracts, I mean, that could be an opportunity there as well.
Thank you. Thank you for all of the great feedback. Not falling on deaf ears, believe me. I tell you. Anybody have any more questions? If not, I want you guys to have a great day. Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Mike, so I'm just going to give this to Mike now.